let's start with the Materia guys. That it was a highly leaked project we helped, and so I think I think they can start to talking about what they are doing. So, hi guys.
Hi.
Hi. Hey.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for coming.
From us. Thank you. So thanks for all the discussion before, because it has been a very, how can I say, helpful basis for starting our presentation. So we are glad to have the opportunity to talk about Materia today, and we want to really thank a lot Ale, Marco, and all the team from DFO Hub, because thanks to them, to their support, to their technology we leveraged in our project, we have been able to be here today and to present you this approach. We would like to have as many feedback as possible from you about Materia, but let's start.
Just a thing, you was incredibly active in the MAA, because I saw that every time someone asked something, you incredibly make a fast reply. So good work. You're better than me. Because I have to answer all the questions. So, but by the way,
it was very simple, also because we just have right now only this channel to take a look at. So we are more than one people, of course. Also, if I was the one to answer to the questions. And we are able to get the point immediately and to have more eyes on the questions, and to answer with, of course, the specific content. By the way, thank you, because I saw that you had a lot of information and you helped in the discussion.
So, okay, it's your time.
Yeah. Okay. So. First of all, what is Materia? Materia is a DEX, and as you can see from the title, it is not another Uniswap Fork. Okay, or at least we hope you will perceive it in this way. About us, Materia is a user-centric decentralized exchange that is controlled by a DFO. So we leveraged mainly, first of all, the DFO technology and protocol for governing Materia. Through GIL, that is the governance token, there will be the possibility for users to take control and to influence the evolution of this project. And we expect from the community, and we hope that the community will join the project and will provide contribute and will help us to develop this idea. Our aim is to lead this project as an R&D initiative. So we are here to experiment as many directions as possible for evolving the protocol and creating new features. We have in mind several stuff that we wanna invest on in terms of R&D activities. First of all, the technological perspective. We want to test our solution, and we want to evolve it according to user needs. And the UX perspective, because we are investing a lot in the aim of creating, let me say, an interface that will make things easy for the users. And we all know that the entire DeFi field is not so simple to handle, to work with, because there is a lot of complexity behind. But we expect to simplify the complexity through the interface, and this is a field in which we are going to invest a lot. So we are spending a lot of effort in trying to reach this kind of goal. We really hope to be able to achieve this mission and to involve even more people in this splendid, excellent, brilliant community. We believe in openness, as you can see in the slide. Everything we are going to do will be released in the GitHub account, and we encourage people to join us, to help us, to check our code, to suggest additions or new ideas, and everything you can imagine. Together with me, there is today, sorry, I didn't present myself, I didn't introduce myself, and neither Daniele, that is here with me. We are the founders of this initiative. My name is Francesco. And we are, of course, ready for every kind of question, and let us know if there is something that you'd like to understand better during our speech. So let's talk about the governance. We have in mind a really democratic approach and decentralized approach. This is the main reason why we choose DFO Hub as a main protocol for the governance and for the voting. And we believe that for being able to lead and to carry on this initiative inside the DeFi world that is, as you know, challenging and fast changing. You can't even go to sleep without expecting a new thing coming up the next morning. We need to have an organization that is able to evolve according to user needs and that involve users in this kind of open innovation. And we believe that for reaching this goal, it is important to set up a direction and define the initial path. So create the project means, of course, giving to the project all the chance to evolve, to grow, to become effective and coherent and consistent. And for this reason, we, and also for avoiding some pain that is connected to the decentralization, to the complete involving of external users into the project, we are planning to keep the control of this project for the very initial part and to gradually lose control over time. By sharing, of course, the control through the voting tokens. I put in this slide two quotes to distinct people, and they, in my opinion, they represent the need and the risk connected to this kind of approach. We don't want to create a plutocratic governance model. We believe that for being able to share the control with people, we need to involve every person in this initiative, avoiding the whale activities. So we are also studying, as you can see, several mechanisms to guarantee greater voting power to those token holders that will invest as well as us in the long term, in a long-term strategy, so for a long-term view. Okay, but now let's talk about Materia in itself. I mean, what are the key elements of Materia? Thanks to Ubik and also to Ale before, because they already introduced some of the main things. For starting, I want to repeat again, it is not another Uniswap fork. I mean, we really hope to have been able to move from that kind of approach that, in particular for the interface aspect, for the, let me say, the web application aspect is as a centralized approach, as we have seen. They have defined inside the web app some static root. And it was the first pain we faced during our research activity about the protocol. So we started from that issue, and we decided to fork Uniswap and to come back to the release 1, to the version 1 of the protocol. And then we invested in the refactoring of that protocol by making a couple of choices. These choices are, first of all, we used as a bridge token the USD. Again, thanks the FlowHub guys for implementing it. The idea is brilliant in my view, because it is not only a stable coin, it represents the sum of other stable coins, and it de-risks the approach of leveraging a stable coin for implementing a bridge token inside the centralized exchange. Guys, I don't know why, but I have a back in the microphone, so maybe a kind of noisy. Anyway. So we...
It sounds okay.
Okay, thank you. So we leveraged the USD as a bridge token, and then we made another interesting choice, in my opinion. We decided to involve the 8 item in the entire initiative. We choose the 8 item standard, the 8 item protocol, for being able to support directly not only ERC20 tokens, but all the other standards that are behind it. So we are able to, the 8 item, to support also ERC 1155 and ERC 721. And through this choice, and through the interoperable part of the ERC20, we are able to trade inside Materia all these kind of tokens. But we also have the opportunity to leverage all the other features that can be built upon this protocol, like the batch transfer. We have designed a specific function. We called it LegoSwap, and it is not ready in this moment. In our first release that will come in the next days, you will be able to see the swap, but the LegoSwap will be added immediately after. Okay, I think we can move on. I don't remember if I forget anything, Daniele.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So let's take a look to what will be provided by Materia in the early stages of its release. In this slide, we can see what is already in the application, so that you will see immediately after the release, and what will come after a few days, let me say. So let's start from the swap. The swap is already working. Before talking about how it works, we need to know, but we will see it very well with the Daniele's speech later. Everything that comes inside Materia will become an 8 item. And then on top of the 8 item, we built all the functionalities. So the swap is already up and running for the ERC part, and we will release after a few weeks from the first release the batch swap feature. Then there is the pool functionality. All the pool functionalities are already fine. They work and they are ready. And the main topic on it is that all the liquidity that you will be able to put inside Materia will be for the 50% on a stable coin. So it makes Materia the first, as far as we know, of course, the first DEX based on a stable coin, and a very stable DEX, because as I already mentioned, the 50% of all the entire liquidity is on a stable coin. We will add also in the first release the liquidity mining to attract liquidity, of course, and we will distribute to people that are going to invest in the DEX by providing liquidity. We will give them as a reward our governance tokens, and we will be, how can I say, more than happy to provide them to those people that will keep their liquidity for a long period, because our aim is to create a long-term solution. And then there is a new feature we have worked a lot on. It is the Xping. At the moment, we want to keep it not so well defined, but it will be, in our view, of course, an amazing functionality for involving the community and for providing rewards to the community by challenging them in some quests. Okay, let's go on now. I share.
Sorry, if I could just interrupt quickly.
Yeah.
You mentioned before the rewarding of people who invest in the project with your governance tokens. You're not referring to like a traditional VC approach, though, are you? You're referring to like liquidity orders using Unify. Also of course, not only traditional, but also the users that are leveraging Unify, of course. Very cool.
I was telling you before, let me now hand over with Daniele, that will go deeper into the protocol. We are more than glad to share with you our achievement in this R&D activity, and I hope you guys will give us as many feedback as possible. So Daniele, it's to you.
So we just introduced a quick protocol overview, but let's see how it works. Materia, of course, is a DFO, and such as any change request will necessarily pass through the DFO governance system, and therefore to the proposal. For this reason, in the diagram, we see a relationship between the DFO proxy and the Materia orchestrator. User will be able to interact with the orchestrator, that is the access point to all the core functionality of Materia. And by interacting with it and with our protocol, of course, the orchestrator provides the methods of swap, add and remove liquidity, and all the amazing features that we will release in the future. As we can see from this diagram, Materia support, thanks to a item, of course, every token standard, RC20, RC1155, and even an NFT. All the liquidity in the pool will couple to USD. The native item version of USD that, spoiler alert, will be released soon. So. It's
Let me say the upcoming new USD.
It's a little spoiler, but
sorry, Ale, I know that you will talk about it. But okay.
Thanks to the new paid routing system, it's possible to optimize transaction cost and create the first DEX entirely based on dollar. So now we can move on. Next slide.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can go deeper into detail of the individual features and see how, for example, swap works. A trader who wants to carry out a swap operation must select 2 tokens, which, thanks to the Materia and the item, of course, can be of any standard, so RC20, for example, or item. Since Materia support all pairs in item, the orchestrator check if the incoming token is an item, and if so, calls the associated collection to perform a safe transfer from. This allows us to bypass the approval operation and make the swap more efficient and cheaper. But if the user select an RC20, the orchestrator first perform a wrap operation to the wrapped version of the token, or the item version of the token, and then call the collection and finally perform a swap. In addition, the user can decide whether to swap wrapped token or original ones. In this case, the unwrap will be automatically performed, so the user can receive the RC20 token, of course. Let's now look at the liquidity operation. In this case, because all the Materia pairs will be between USD and an item, obviously the user can select an RC20 and create or add liquidity to a pair. The protocol will take care of the wrap operation to convert the token into item and allow the add liquidity or they create the pair. As we can see, selecting an item allowed to skip the approval operation and make the transaction even more efficient and less expensive. Finally, the remove liquidity, where a user may decide to fully or partially remove liquidity by providing the MP, that is our Materia liquidity pool token.
Okay. So basically, as you can see, everything that comes inside Materia will be converted automatically, will be wrapped automatically into an item, and everything that go through Materia and outside will be re-unwrapped into the original token. So these operations, those operations will be totally transparent for people who will have the opportunity to decide to work on the original tokens. So in their standard that mainly is based on the ERC20 standard, or to keep these tokens in their wrapped version, allowing them to take advantage of the protocol and to be able also to create a legal swap. So utilizing the batch transfer possibility. And in our view, this will produce several benefits for people in terms of efficiency, in terms of cost reduction, and it will be one of the key elements that will differentiate Materia from other approaches. Having, of course, a USD approach, so having made this choice to have the USD as a bridge token, we will be able also to reduce some side effect of the AMM, like the slippage. In this moment, we have a single pool with many pairs inside, so like it was in the Uniswap version 1 protocol. And this helps us to have only a very short route. We have a route between only 3 tokens, nothing else than this. Because from the token A to the token B, there could be in the middle the USD. When, of course, you don't want to swap USD with something else. And the second effect that, in my view, is another of the key points of this approach is that we are, by definition, reducing the impermanent loss, because the 50% of all the liquidity is back to a USD token. So there is less volatility. Sorry for that. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, it sounds fine now.
Thank you. Sorry for that. I don't know what's happened. By the way, it's our nice stuff that happened during the live stream. Okay, so these two things, in my opinion, will provide benefits for users and will allow us to be effective and to protect the investment of people in the liquidity, in providing liquidity into the DEX, and of course will allow us to be more efficient in terms of R&D activities, because we have the opportunity to start from a very solid point. Okay. So let's move on to what are the next steps. We already mentioned them in one of the previous slides when we told you about a very first release, and then a second release that will cover some missing functionalities now. I have to say that we are taking care of the implementation activities, and this is the reason why we will come with a further release once that we are totally sure that what we release is fully functional, as default functionalities, and is working well without any side effect. So at the moment, we will release the DEX with the swap functionalities and the add and remove liquidity and the liquidity mining functionalities. And then we will move forward with adding LIGO swap for taking advantage from the batch transactions, and also the XPing functionalities that, in my opinion, will involve more people into the DEX, will bring more liquidity, and will provide more rewards to people. And then we will release DEX aggregator interactions for allowing people to leverage our DEX for our protocol for arbitrage, and also for providing more fees to our liquidity providers. And together with the evolution of DFO Hub, we will provide dynamic fees. We want to experiment and make research in letting people to self-determine what is the right fee to apply to their pools. So we will evolve our protocol for supporting the dynamic fees that will be defined through a vote, and this will allow them to self-determine the success of their investment and the return of investment in terms of fees, of course. We want to take care, of course, of the evolution of the Ethereum, and we want to experiment the layer 2 functionalities, and we see Materia to be not only a DEX, but thanks to a item, we will be able to provide the marketplace functionalities. We are already talking with other guys that are leading other projects for integrating marketplace functionalities, and for allowing users to have a more wide and rich experience in using the DEX for for trading purposes, as well as for getting NFT and to trade them. So we have a lot of other ideas. Of course, our aim during the production of this slide was to be concise and to to let you understand where we are pointing on. But there are a lot of other ideas, and we would like to share with you. For this reason, we encourage people to join our server on Discord and to start a conversation with us by asking as many details as possible and by sharing with us their view. We are more than glad to work also on other interaction. You can consider Materia as an engine, and we designed it as an engine that will allow you to work on your projects and to enable your projects from a technological perspective for what concerning, of course, the liquidity part. Now we would like to share with you some preview of the interfaces. In this slide, you can see both the swap and the pool. And the interface is different from what you can see on Uniswap or Balancer or other DEX. We designed it for supporting multi-standard, so not only ERC20 but also NFT. And another direction of our R&D activity will be the support for NFT, multimedia NFT. Now you can see the preview of the visual part of the NFT, but there will be also the possibility to play the NFT if they are, let me say, sound files or video files and so on, and also to navigate into them when you have collections of NFT. But I think that it could be nice to share also a live preview of of our DApp. So if you are okay with it, we can share another screen in which there is the functioning Materia DApp.
Robson version, of course.
The Robson on the Robson network, of course. On the Robson net. Sorry, CD, can you share the other?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, here it is. Thank you.
So this is our new fancy interface. It's an early stage interface, of course. You can see the main functionality like swap, pool, liquidity mining, and of course the link to the governance. The DFO governance, the item, and also the DFO site. In the interface, in the swap interface, you can check your inventory. The inventory is all the tokens inside your wallet, tokens, of course, your item, RC20, and so on. Here you can select also the token and make a wrap operation. Manually wrap operation. You can check also your account connected. You can select if you want to do a classic swap or a bench swap, but the bench swap functionality is coming soon. You can select, of course, the token to swap by select a list and select the token.
We are keeping the list approach, the token list approach that is the same of Uniswap, and it is also possible to define custom token list and as well as for Uniswap and to add them. We will have a more democratic approach on the handling of this token list. I mean, the default token list from Materia will be voted by community for deciding the token order and what token will be added and so on. So we learned from the lesson of the Uniswap approach, and we want to have definitely a more democratic approach on it.
Okay, so if we select two tokens to swap, the DEX obviously check the liquidity inside the pool and create the route that in this case pass through the USD as bridge token. When we can swap if a selected token, the token A, for example, is an ERC20, as we said before, the protocol automatically wrap this token to add the liquidity. And of course, check in the check phase, check if the wrap, the version of the token has a liquidity inside the pool. So we can go to the pool. In the pool, we can manage all the pools, all the pairs inside the pool. In this case, we can, of course, add the liquidity, or we can remove liquidity by selecting a percent or a partial percentage of the pool inside the MP linked to the wallet connected to the DEX. If we can go back and select, for example, this token, we provide also the user interface in light mode, in this case. And for everyone who likes old style interface, there is a little nice, how can I say, Francesco, gift, I don't know. We can toggle the classic interface. This classic interface is an old style interface for everyone who likes and maybe can recognize it. So
our name is Materia, so we choose it, and it is a tribute to Final Fantasy. So it seems to be fair from us to involve also their old style graphical interface. Yeah. And I hope you will enjoy it as we did during the development. And basically, that's it. I mean, we had a quick look to the interface and to the protocol and to the functionalities. We share with you our choices in terms of R&D activities. And we're here if you have any question about it, but in particular, we expect to have your feedback through our channel. We just released yesterday night the new website. Daniele, if you wanna share it, you can. It is not still ready because we are missing many pages, but we will release them in the next hours. But right now, you can find in the bottom part of the web page all the link for join us in the community, in the Discord server and other social networks. So if you have any question, we are more than glad to answer and to interact with you.
Great, guys. Thank you so much for that. I think the UI looks so cool.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you very much.
It's awesome. Can I ask who the designer is?
You have it right here. But we also have
yourself. It looks amazing, man.
Thank you. Very good in graphic stuff in the team. So in the team right now we have developers and a graphic guy. Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. Great. We'll jump into some of the questions that were posted on Discord then, and then we'll look at the ones posted live.
Okay.
All right. Let me get the Discord channel up.
Before starting with the question, I want to thank in particular Marco and Ale, because during the development stages, we had a lot of support from them. also because we stressed the integration of at item, also when it wasn't still released, and now with the new version of USD that is already supported inside Materia. And thanks, guys, because it was very helpful, and also for the wonderful chat about the strategy and the evolution of Materia. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
I didn't know it was so cool as it is. Because some days ago you showed me the interface, and it's pretty cool. And I love Final Fantasy VII especially. So, and there is a thing that when we release the FO Hub in mainnet, I just finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I don't know, but I'm very familiar with that. I love this thing. So yeah, huge fan. And so, what do you think, CD? We can start with this quick question, even if they just answer that, but just to recap, if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure they could.
And then the live question, because I see a lot of questions here. So
we got enough time, I think. There's quite a few. There's a lot of interest in Materia.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely address this one to some degree as an alternative to Uniswap rather than just another fork. How do you plan on gaining the liquidity that they have in order to be considered tangible? I think that's a question that a lot of new DEXs face.
Yeah. So the liquidity mining functionality in the very early stages, and then the exping functionality that will come immediately after. I mean, it will be a game in which we will involve people to provide liquidity and to gain, let me say, not only the fees, but also governance tokens. But I don't really want to talk about, let me say, token economics stuff. I think it's not the right place to talk about them. And we will release an article for covering the answer to this. But generally speaking, we will copy the approach of the FO Hub on it, because we are not really interested in the token economic stuff. We would like to focus on the R&D activities, and we know that we need to gain liquidity in order to make the DEX up and running and functioning, and it is part of the game. We will provide rewards for it. We will provide gamification stuff. Exping is a gamification activity, let me say. Sorry for that. I told more than I had to. But we think that the project has a very good potential, and we hope the community will bet on it by helping us to have a long run approach and to evolve it, for providing more services. As I told you in the early stages of this presentation, we are investing a lot in both the technology, so all the maths part and the protocol part, and the user experience. And we truly believe that by bringing those technologies, these technologies, to very close to the people, we will be able to involve more people and to gain more liquidity and to make this bet become true.
Great. Yeah. And would you be interested in talking about the liquidity orders using unified crafting at all?
Yeah, we think that it is better if this, because it is not part of our project, we will leverage it. It is better if Ale and other guys from the FO Hub talk about it. I think it's not fair if I talk about it
Yeah, as always, about our developing, we will talk when we are very, very near to the release. So next week, so we will set up a direct and an MAA like what we did with the item. So yeah, but it will be fun because there are a lot of very, very fancy things. So
yeah, can't wait.
We think so.
Okay. Moving on. Second question is something you fully addressed as well, I think. Given that you gave an actual demo of the UI being used. But yeah, I don't see anything there that you haven't already covered. Maybe the question, like other DEXs, will it be more like other DEXs in terms of like user experience, or will it be more like a centralized exchange? It's clearly more like the classic decentralized exchange setup, right?
Yeah. We want to keep it decentralized. We will avoid the approach, and also in the R&D activities, and in the interface as well, because the interface is actually the let me say, the prototype of what there is behind. So we will avoid centralized approaches, and even if we will invest on understanding if it will be possible to bring functionalities from that are useful from centralized exchange to our DEX, we'll try to do it by let me say, designing them in a decentralized way. So the interface will be will continue to be in this way, and to extend functionalities as well.
Yeah, it could be the first decentralized exchange that actually lives up to the claim of decentralization, which is really, really cool.
Thank you.
What's next? Will we get a sneak peek of the Materia release date on mainnet?
When it's ready. Yeah, we will be totally sure that there is no bug, no possibility to have fault, and we are already ready. Let me say, because it is already working. Daniele didn't show the swap because it requires time. It is on Robson, and we don't know at the moment how Robson is. It's a pain, generally speaking. And but it is already working on the main functionalities. We are already ready to publish it, but we will finish our test, and once they will be totally, we will be totally sure that there is nothing bad. We will release both the DApp and also the code, so you can review it.
Yeah, that's important, and that's the good approach. I want to say with everyone that obviously all the people in the ecosystem wants dApps very quickly and developing very quickly. But the thing is that releasing Cyberpunk working of PS4 FAT is not a good idea. So you have to be sure it is run good, because people like me can't play it. That's the thing.
on your PlayStation 4, Ali.
Yeah. It's a good quote, Ale.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red didn't follow the responsible DeFi approach.
CD Projekt.
CD Projekt,
oh.
Yeah.
Apologies.
So I think you really okay. I think we got 20 minutes for Q&A, and so if it's okay for you, CD, I think we can check some questions that they don't address before, or we can start with live question, because there are a ton of questions for them. So that's good.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
the
sure.
representation were very, very well made. So.
Do you think this is something we should address? Something from Mushroom talking about the unified stake dollar and the progression of increasing its max supply as that relates to Materia.
To the V1, but the V2 will not have this thing because we had the progression in the V1 because the V1 was basically the proof of concept, and we didn't know 100% sure that USD will work without problems. Every DApp you tested, but you put in the DeFi, and so the V2 will be without cap, but yeah. But the cap, I think I don't remember exactly the block number that finished it, but I think it's pretty
very close.
near.
Yeah.
Week or two or something.
Let me say that we already support the version 2. We already have it in our DEX, so it is not a problem right now because for the day we will release it, this problem will be already solved.
Great.
And it will be in a few days, let me say.
Okay, cool. The next question, I think, is something.
I wanna thank for both the question and also for typing it down inside the channel, because it helps. It will help other people to understand why we made these choices and how we are planning to solve this that can be seen as an issue, but let me say it isn't right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very helpful because in Ethereum, developing is very quickly, fast, things change very fast. And so it sometimes is difficult to explain all of the things that happen and then all of the technology in deep with the same velocity that the tech had. So,
yeah. Okay.
I think this next question from Mushroom had to do with the tokenomics as well. So I'll leave that for now. This one from Isolating. Since the ETH item standard will be used, will there be an option or toggle to switch between an OpenSea and a Uniswap layout?
Actually, we are not thinking to an option to switch among two different layouts, but we are designing something new. It will be something mixed between the common approach of the DEX that basically shows two pairs to switch between, and the OpenSea marketplace approach that is more common, let me say more seen in the web. We are designing at the moment. We have let me say some draft of it, and it will be a merge between the two approaches, and it will be something new. As we told you before, our aim is to innovate also in the user experience, and we are planning to release something different. Like I think, and I hope you will perceive Materia, because it is not exactly the same approach, same identical approach that other DEX are using right now. Also, even if we are doing exactly the same thing, but the inventory part, in my opinion, is very useful for using the DEX, also because it allows you to make operation on your wallet. So it is an abstraction of your wallet that is already inside the DEX, and helps a lot in the common activities, and will help a lot in the batch swap functionalities, because you will have the opportunity to bring elements and to combine elements to produce results. But now I stop because Daniele then will shut me down. Okay. So, by the way, basically the answer to this question is we are working on a new thing, a new approach on presenting both NFT and ERC20 token through the Ethereum protocol.
Cool. Thank you for the very thorough answer. I'm sure that will answer his question.
Okay.
This one you already answered. I don't know if you want to go into it in any more depth. This one, really a yes or no answer. But this one, do implementations like an order book? I guess you're not introducing one, so it might not be relevant.
I can answer to the order book part. We are making several tests on it, but we want to keep a decentralized approach, because the issue on it is that you need to have something external that check the state of the art of the values of each token, and then trigger the operation, the swap operation. And we don't like the centralized approach, and we are making researches for keeping it decentralized. There are already on the market some approach on it, like for looping or 1 inch, for example. We are studying those approaches, and we are designing our solution. We are in contact with another team right now that is implementing something that can be useful for us to trigger a continuing decentralized approach. But at the moment, we don't have a solution, but we are making research on it.
Okay, great. This last one can basically be summarized as how Materia will be governed between now and when you plan to fully relieve control to a decentralized community of token holders. And it looks like, based on your answer, you'll basically be taking the same approach as DFO Hub, which is to say, you'll have control over it at first, and then over time, as it becomes safe to do so, you'll give more and more control to token holders.
Yeah. Our plan is to gradually lose control over time, and of course, in the early stages, we need to make the project stable and consistent, and then we will be able to open it to the community. But we are not planning to have a different approach, and I don't know, I already told you that I don't want to talk about token economics, but we will have founders token that will be there, and we will never take them and use them. And when will be the moment to lose control, we will handle it. But the approach is basically the same of the Hub, that we truly believe is the best one and the most fair for this kind of project in this specific world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got Ali's private conversation with myself.
I know that basically, it's on.
I love live.
I totally agree with you.
Yes,
approach.
Can I say something about it? Because there are some misconception about these technologies, about DAOs, these DFOs, and all of this stuff. So the DAO approach is normally that tokens are distributed from the beginning, because the code is in the hand of the team that deployed the DAO. So there is no case that the team should be taking some tokens because they already rule the code and all of these things. So for DFOs, it's totally different, because, for example, if you launch Materia and you don't have the right to govern it in the early beginning, it's totally different. It's like to have equities, so people can make disaster, people can do a lot of things with tokens, and so I think this approach that is more like a classic startup approach. So founders have the most of the power in the beginning, and continuously later on they lose the powers. It's totally makes sense, basically, in my personal opinion, and it's totally more realistic and more fair and clean to people. Because instead of say, oh, we are decentralized by hiding your point of failure of your decentralization, you are saying the reality is as it is. So that's, I mean, an approach that I like, because sincerity, I don't know if it's the right word in English, it's the best approach. So yeah.
What to say as a comment? We totally agree, and it is why we are copying it.
It's okay, cool. That's fair. Fair.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh.
Of course.
So I think we are running out of time from the next. So can I take some question from the live, because on Discord they are already asked, so people can go there, and maybe I will add this in the video at the end of the live. So when we re-upload the video, I will put all of the questions in the description, and so people can go there to find the answer for that. Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay. So because I see a lot of questions here. Okay. So the first one.
Gil, Gil is
not a Final Fantasy fan, I have to say.
No, I think get the Gil is the name of the token of the money inside all the Final Fantasy world, so it's a reference.
Yeah, we choose it because it is a reference, and you will see also the sign once released. I keep silence. Okay. It is possible to have the slides at the end of the speech. We will release not the slides, but all the content on the website. You will have basically the same content on the website. That is easier. It is batch transfer. Let me say the function on top of batch transfer. LegoSwap is so the technology, the implementation, and the interface. We have basically only a pool.
So
yeah,
the 50%.
That's how.
Yeah, because the pair is each pair is composed by USD and another token. So the 50% of the liquidity is USD. So the entire pool has the 50% of
USD and the 50% of every other tokens. So having only one pool, you pair everything with the bridge token that is USD. And for this reason, you have the bridge token, the token A and the token B. And you can bridge from the token A and the token B through the bridge token. This makes the routing problem unexisting. So it is the main reason we decided to start from the version 1 of the protocol of Uniswap, and by implementing it, we also have many results. There's the leakage reduction and also the impairment loss reduction, because the volatility of USD is nothing compared to the volatility of Ethereum, of other token in the crypto world. I hope this answer fully to the question, but I think so. Not well, not exactly, not exactly. Daniele, do you wanna?
Yeah, because if you swap an item, you don't have to approve it. So because we can call the collection of the item and make a safe transfer from, so we can avoid the approve operation. So
yeah. So you can decide to keep in your wallet the item version of your tokens. So to avoid the unwrap of the tokens, and keeping them, you can make all the trade you want without approving anything. But you need to reach this goal before. And once you will decide to move your tokens from, you decide to keep your tokens in the original version, you can unwrap them and have the same functionalities of before. Currently, we are several people. In the main team, we are 6. But we already have other people that want to join our project. There is, in particular, another team that will be helping us from the next releases.
A lot of time.
I used to work on the crypto world since 2017, but I'm following the Bitcoin evolution since 2009. So it is a very long period. I have been also a miner in my past. I experimented the public blockchain approach also in the business, and I promoted several projects in the business world that is not this DeFi world. So I have a good experience on both the technology and the business model evolution that comes from the adoption of the decentralized approach and the blockchain in particular. I also explored some permission as the blockchain, but I don't want to talk about them because they are not blockchain. And so let me say a consistent period. When did the sun get in? Okay.
Yeah, basically you can with the bench transfer you can transfer up to 5 tokens with a single transaction. So it's really cheaper.
Yeah, you will be able to experiment it in the next release. Yeah.
Exactly. Is a bit more crypto to me.
I don't think so. I think that it will provide more stability to the paired tokens, but they are only wrapped inside Materia, so I don't see any side effect on it. Also because they will be still producing revenues from the fees and also for, but again, I don't want to talk about token economics.
That's an interesting question. Can I say something? I mean, yeah, Ethereum is the main gas that you have to pay on Ethereum. But I think it can be interesting to see liquidity for all tokens with dollar instead of Ethereum, because that can be very helpful for projects, for example, to be independent as much as possible to the price of Ethereum. And that's can be cool because let me show an example that I talked with the Materia team in DM. If, for example, in the future, we will face a market problem like a failure of a big stable coin that can destroy a lot of market there, or all of the things. And maybe Ethereum dump, maybe Bitcoin dump. If the interesting experiment is that if tokens are more connected with the stable coin rather than Ethereum, what will happen? And that's a good experimentation, I think. And yeah, I like their approach.
I think that we will need to wait for for this scenario to happen to have an answer. But our test shows that having a stable coin behind that allows the user to be paid with a stable coin decrease this phenomenon. So there will be a very positive effect in case of dumps. So we strongly believe that it is a very safe approach, and the other side effect is that as a consequence, the impairment loss has decreased.
Hi, Marco.
Hello, Buidlerberg. Hello, everyone. How
Hey,
are
man.
you? I followed your conference, and it was really great. Congratulations, Francesco and Daniele, and thank you for this amazing stuff. Thank you, CD. How are you, man?
Good man. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. We are ready, and we are really lock and loaded. Sorry
Great.
for interruption. You can carry on.
No problem at all.
Okay,
Thank you. It's a pleasure to see you. Okay.
That's more of Final Fantasy
Hello.
stuff.
Thank you,
Let's get everyone in here. Hey, Konzu.
Oh,
really believe it.
Hello.
Thank you, Konzu.
all of the moderation team is here.
Yeah.
Basically. For the Buidlerberg.
So last question, I think.
There is another question? Or
Oh, this one? Oh, it's not even a question. It's a statement, and it's true. I completely agree.
We
put it on the...
It's true why we choose it. Thank you.
And so we have 2 minutes. And so if there is a question you want to highlight from Discord, I think we have 2 minutes to do this.
Do you want to talk about
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I have only a comment before. We are going to launch as soon as possible, but only a few days left for being sure that what we have released is totally stable, and then we will be able to involve you all in leveraging and using this new technology. And I want to thank you all for talking with you for this conversation. It was wonderful, and please let us know if there is any idea, any question, anything else.
You mentioned Discord before.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to post a link to that or anything.
Yeah, of the website. The website is materia.com.
You can add the link in the Yama section.
Okay.
For your talk. I think everyone can add links there from the talk, so it will be easier to people to find more information about project and things. So
okay, we want to also say that the website, many website pages will show up in next hours because we published it only yesterday night, and right now there are still few pages that are missing or not totally perfect. But the channels are already there, up and running, and I mean, in particular Discord. So please join us and make all the questions you want.
that's cool.
Awesome.
Thank you to be here. And so I think we can take the 10-minute break, and after the Buzz the Power speech about on-chain organizations.
Yeah.
Marco, we are waiting for you. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ale. Thank you, CD.
Thank you.
Konsu. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Great presentation,
Great
guys.
presentation.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Marco.
Can't wait to hear more.
Bye.
This is fun.